You gonna murder this one and murder that one. Talking all that bullshit. I'm gonna put it to you like this, yo.
This is for the nerds, this is for the brainiacs, this what we deserve. Go ahead and play it back, you ain't gonna touch me, you not gonna do nothing, you are not above me, I bet you wish you was me, I know it, I know.
What is poppin', everybody? And welcome back to another special episode of the Only Friends podcast. Well, you know, it's me and my only friends, which includes the guy I'm never going to throw to again, Landon Tice.
Damn, I thought you were going to
Well,
go
what's
Guapo.
poppin', Tortua? What's going on, Tony? Mob dude, what you getting into?
Oh man, I'm a happy tortoise right now. You know.
You know what? Never mind. Fuck you. What's up, Landon?
Another Monday, another Steelers victory.
Oh my god!
And we're just one more victory closer to Slapsgiving.
I'm down bad.
Slapsgiving.
Yo,
It's got a nice ring to it.
Whoever made this fucking Twitter account, Horse for
it's so
Gores,
good.
has me dying.
It's funny. I think you thought he was rooting for me to slap you at first.
No.
He's rooting for Conrad.
Oh, I know he's rooting for me.
Oh, why'd you say you hate him?
Because it's fucking hilarious.
Oh.
Like, what made you just come up with this and then put it together? It was great. It was a great one.
I just love that there's somebody willing to wallow in your misery with you.
It's a good name up top, too.
Yep.
It's so good.
So he's awaiting the updated odds from his loyal leader, Conrad. Now that the Steelers are 6-3, a mere 3 wins away from securing
How many
the
games
face
left?
slap. There are, eight games left, and they play the down bad Pats, the down bad Colts. And,
I like the Colts.
yeah, okay,
The down
buddy.
bad
I'll be betting
Bengals.
the Colts.
Okay, buddy. Okay.
They also play the down bad Bengals
And
twice.
down bad Browns next week.
Browns won.
Browns?
Fuck,
Did
Browns
they,
look
wait,
good.
they won?
Yeah,
they
won.
came back.
I saw, that's insane.
Yeah, they
The
came back
Bengals
and
also
won.
came back and then found a
Yeah.
way to lose.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, think about it.
The Texans tried to give it away, and then they.
Texans are. That kid is really good.
CJ's great.
CJ Stroud
playoff
is really
contenders now.
fucking
Yeah.
good. He's an MVP contender.
Yeah, he's doing really well.
Like, he might just win it.
Oh, it's fucking
Cue the meme.
relax. A little bit. I don't know, man. We're only halfway through the season.
I understand that, but like
Chill out a
at this
little.
moment, who would you say is leading the MVP race?
I don't know.
I don't know, Pickett.
Anyone on the Dolphins?
Are you kidding me?
Tyreek.
Yeah,
Tyreek.
Tua.
Tyreek.
Tua?
Tua's out. He's a goner.
He's gone.
Out of the MVP race after
yeah.
last week.
How about Jalen Hurts?
Okay. Yeah. He's up there.
Well, did they only give one away or one for each?
I think
conference?
only one.
Only one.
I think
yeah,
it's only
yeah
one,
Jalen
too.
Hurts is
Yeah.
probably.
But-
I think Lamar was like one of the leaders
Oh, yeah, he
coming
was.
into yesterday, but after they lost to the Browns.
How about
probably-
TJ Watt?
Ooh,
I would,
TJ Watt
honestly,
would be
I'd
good.
give it to him.
Yeah, he's
God, I
awesome.
really got to get him to watch this fucking podcast. He would immediately put himself on injury reserve for the rest of the year. I wouldn't have to worry about the Steelers winning another game, and I get to slap the shit out of Burke.
He's played 96 games and he has 88 sacks.
He's a fucking animal. By the way, he had 4 tackles yesterday, like before halftime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You picked the wrong
Before
week,
solo
Brian.
tackles.
I know. Were
It
they
was the
solo
wrong week.
tackles?
Yes,
It was.
there were 4 solo tackles
Yeah.
before halftime. I was like, damn, you picked the wrong week, bro.
It's all right. We'll get to that later.
So, what are the updated odds for your Nooseman out there?
We were at, my man, we were at minus 350 before that we're going to get the shit slapped out of us. Now we're looking at like minus 425, minus 430.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I like minus 430. Okay, well, look, I mean, here's the thing.
Martin Luther King.
Yeah, you're a dog. I love it. We must accept finite disappointment, but never lose infinite hope.
I remain infinitely, hopefully. Yeah. I remain infinitely, hopefully. Is that right?
It's not.
It's supposed to be hopeful, right?
He writes the way you read.
Okay, perfect.
I'm actually starting to think that this is your fucking alt.
To see the day Berkey gets the shit slapped out of him.
That's not
Martin
what it
Luther
says.
King. I can't see.
Not at all
I
what it
can't
says.
see.
Paraphrasing. Basically what
I
it means.
couldn't see
Just
it.
paraphrase
I mean,
here.
it's kind of not
How
wrong for
dare you
tournaments
misquote
either, right?
Martin Luther King?
Yo, when I saw it was signed Martin Luther King, I don't know where I was, but I fucking lost it. Actually, as a matter of fact, all weekend I've just been places laughing out loud, and everybody has to think I'm a fucking psychopath.
No, they're used to it.
All right, cool. I have been laughing at my phone for like at least 72 hours straight.
Live, laugh, love.
You're honestly maybe not as big of a dog as it might appear.
No, I'm -4. I'm -430.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
I'm like +370.
I would bet your side, I think.
I would not bet my side.
Well, here's the thing. They're very probable. If they win the games they're supposed to win, they're very probable to beat the Patriots and the Colts. And
You're not going to do this thing where
that's gonna
you
get 'em
like
to 8 wins.
you try to like go on the other side right before the podcast. You're like, huh, it's a guarantee. And now you're like, oh, maybe not.
They're just winning the games they're supposed to. But here's the thing. I forgot about the down bad Cardinals.
They weren't supposed to win a goddamn game.
Cardinals
They
aren't
won.
as down bad anymore with Kyler back. They won this week.
Who'd they play?
They played some other team.
Yeah.
Cool.
Precisely.
Sick
Played
team.
some other team.
At least the Dolphins didn't get to lose this week.
Nope.
They got a regroup bye week.
We managed to, and when I say we, I mean only Landon and I in this room, but we
They
made
beat the Falcons.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Falcons decent.
Nah,
they're not.
They just benched
They're
their
a 3-win
quarterback.
team.
They have 4 wins.
Oh, my apologies. Didn't mean to slight any of the Falcon fans out there in the down bad NFC
They
South.
benched Ritter.
Dirty South.
Yeah.
Why?
We made it through.
Why did they do that?
By we, I mean Landon, myself, and a bunch of others in the Survivor. We still have one.
Yes, we did.
go.
I'm in there.
Let's go. Oh, you are in there. That's
I'm in
right.
there. Do not forget about me.
We faded the Bengals,
Oh,
which
that was nice.
almost 40% of the pool had. So they're gone.
That was great on our end because we were going back and forth. Where we wanted the Bengals, the
It
Cowboys.
was a good find by Andy to see
Yeah.
that we could see the remaining percentages.
Yeah. Shout out to
really,
Andy.
really helped clear things up. So we went Cowboys. Now this week coming up, I think we have pretty clear decision with who do we have this week?
I can.
I can't remember. It's someone
Yeah.
than Detroit for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving game's next week, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know,
2 weeks.
Andy's next week.
It's a week from Thursday.
It's Andy's next week.
Yeah. That's why we're letting him make the picks.
Right, yeah. So yeah, I mean, we actually might have some real sweats here. Yep, there you see it. 37% eliminated. Look at the Steelers coming in.
70 more are going to get eliminated tonight because the Bears play the Bills.
Almost 10%.
No, they don't. The Bears aren't
The
playing.
Bears?
Oh, no,
They won.
I'm sorry.
The Bears
I'm an
beat
idiot.
the whatchamacallit.
The Panthers.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The Bills play the Broncos.
The Bills play the Broncos tonight.
I'm
Yeah.
an idiot.
Oh, the Ravens
Ravens
lost
lost,
too.
yeah.
It's another 3%. Get them out.
Get them out.
Get them gone.
So yeah, we should be down to like 500 or so. That's pretty exciting.
Yeah, we're
Couple-
getting... How many started? 10,000? Ish?
I think. I'm not sure. Is it a 10 million prize pool? That sounds about right.
Yeah, 8 million prize.
Yeah, maybe 8 million. It's like 8,000-ish.
What baffles my mind is every single week there's a handful of no picks. Like people forget to put their pick in.
it's
You get
easy
to
to
lock it in
forget.
by...
Imagine if you're doing this by yourself. It's easy to forget.
No, it's not. You just set an alarm on your phone like an hour before the... You're lucky that you have a group around you. 'Cause we're always like Saturday morning. Burke, is it locked? Burke, is it locked?
Oh, you
Do
think it's
lock
an
it?
accident that I sold a piece to you idiots?
Okay,
Yeah, it's
so
true.
our Week 10 pick is going to be the Bengals. This is Week 10 Cowboys path saves Bengals, a better team than Jags, with a less clear week to choose. Oh, I guess we're not choosing Bengals. I don't see the next week yet.
Yeah,
I'll have
maybe
to keep reading.
maybe we didn't have it.
We'll keep
clear-
everyone
cleared
posted
out, but-
on who we pick.
Yeah. But I know for sure we have Thanksgiving. The big reason why it worked out this week that everybody got eliminated with the Bengals is because only like 45% of the remaining picks still had the Lions, which meant that they all had to save the Cowboys for Thanksgiving,
Right.
which meant that they couldn't take the huge 16.5 point favorite Cowboys over the Giants
Right,
yesterday.
they were forced to go Bengals route.
Yeah.
All I know is
Very unlucky for them.
We must have did something right along the way. Like we're the way we're mapping it out. We've
We didn't
made
take
the right
Detroit
thing.
early. We knew we needed those Thanksgiving
Right.
games.
Yeah,
What you're
exactly.
saying is that Andy is a navigator.
He's a soothsayer.
Mm.
He's a fortune telling
Wow.
into the future.
I feel like if he was that, he would help us win more money than just the
that's
Survivor
true.
pool.
That's true. Man, it'd be nice to win though. I could use extra 1.5 million.
Is that how much?
Actually, I
get-
think I have 60%, so even a little bit more.
I have
1.8.
5%. What would that get me?
Oh, 5% of 3 million,
Nice, 150,000.
150K.
Let's go.
It's basically the same as me
I
winning
can-
1.5.
I can move up to 2.5 if I win that.
Honestly,
Attaboy.
not if you have Guapo roll. If you have Guapo roll, you'll be a 1-2 still.
Wow.
It'd be pretty sick though if we won this like while having our picks like on the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be dope.
Yeah.
It'll be real dope.
Let's live in that universe.
Let's live in that universe. Before you move up to 2-5, you and Guapo have been splashing around a little bit in the 1-3 streets, I believe.
1-2, 1-2.
Oh, my
get it
apologies.
don't get carried away.
Don't
here.
get it twisted.
Guapo doesn't quite have 1,000 buy-ins yet for 1-3.
Relax. Oh man.
So you guys were colluding a little at the Jewel of the South.
We were not colluding, but we were sitting next to each other. And Guapo, I think
Playing
you
a
found
little
yourself in a situation, didn't you?
Yeah, I certainly did.
It sounds like.
So we found ourselves at the Jewel.
The Jewel of the
I think
South.
the biggest takeaway from this is not so much the specific hand, but everything that led up to it.
Yeah, because it's not always about just how did I play this hand. But, there's a lot of other things going on at the table, right? Yeah, so I know for sure what was going on was we were at the tightest table in all of North America. And we decided to just stick around, stay there. See if we can loosen it up a little bit.
Now, Guapo, is Brian seat 5 with $168, or is he seat 7 with $889?
Come on now, that's the tortoise, baby. That's
Okay, so he's seat 5.
No, I'm seat 7.
Oh,
Yeah.
I am.
Tortua.
Yep.
the tortoise don't play.
Okay.
Right.
Now I see why you stuck around.
Guapo, you want to give the lead up before this hand? Just kind of
Sure.
how you were
So-
playing, what you were doing, what you were
So we're
trying
at
to
the
do.
Jewel. Brian and I are sitting next to each other. I'm enjoying Brian's company. We're playing. And it's pretty noticeable that within like maybe an hour or two that no one is playing any hands. And I mean like no one. Like it's single raise pots, C-bet, take it down. After about 2 hours of this, I decide that I'm just going to start V-pipping almost.
I feel like it was after about 15 minutes of this.
Whatever. The point is I just start auto making it $10. I'm playing like 70-80% of hands. And I'm just auto C-betting $10. And I'm just picking up these small pots, picking up small pots, thinking that
Red
at
line,
some,
baby.
thinking that at some point I'm going to start getting 3-bet, or people are going to start raising my auto C-bet that I just keep making, and no one is adjusting. And then we get to this hand. So as per usual, I just make it $10.
All right, playing the deck here with ace 10 suited.
Yeah. He just happened to have a good hand here.
Right.
And old man coffee,
Sure.
playing with $120, decides to call out of the small blind. And we get this flop.
How are you in the muck?
Seems pretty seems pretty reasonable, right?
Okay.
He checks. Got $120, guys.
Okay.
I think it was
Surprise,
a rainbow board,
surprise.
but doesn't matter.
I bet $10. Now I expect to just rake in the pot. I'm already extending my hands to, bring this bad boy in.
I don't think we really want that with ace 10.
I think I want to call.
Go on.
And our friend says, fuck you. I'm going to put in half my stack.
Okay.
And I decide to fold.
Fuck you. What is the matter with
That's
you?
what I said.
Are you brain busto?
Wait. The best part is we're like, show the bluff.
Well, he
Everyone's
didn't
like,
want to show it at
the
first.
bluff, show the
He
bluff.
didn't want to show it at first.
And he's like, like, come on. And he just windmills the king 6 in his face.
So,
As Landon's over here, like, it's fine.
so
I was like, what are you doing?
all right, so
'Cause
can
he
we all,
showed-
can we all
So,
relax for a
when we
second?
were playing, like he would just like he'd play and I'm sitting next to him and he'd just show me his hand.
Yeah.
So I'm watching this all play out, knowing
Sure.
exactly what he has, and my head just exploded and my brains were all over the table.
It was an easy cleanup. Don't worry.
Not to pile on too much on Guapo because he's putting himself out there. But go ahead, Guapo. What were you thinking?
He had it.
I got the funny thing is I finally got what I wanted, right? Like I wanted people to play back at me. I wanted to start playing some pots. The unfortunate thing is that I hadn't seen this gentleman make any plays that were like super out of line.
He bluffed twice, by the way, before this
yeah,
hand.
so I wasn't aware of this. Brian picked up on this. I was
Once
not
was
aware of
against you.
this. No, I don't think he bluffed.
He might not have bluffed, but I know that
He just
you bet he raised similar kind of like that, and you jammed in his face with top pair,
right.
and he folded. So I assume he was probably bluffing, and he did bluff someone else, but you might have missed that hand, right?
So what made my decision a little bit easier for me was that he only had 70 behind, and I didn't see a world where he's going to put in half his stack to just fold. So I
Why?
erred on the side of caution, and decided to not play a $140 pot against somebody who I hadn't seen bluff much.
$360, $260.
Or yeah, thank you, $260.
We folding ace king here too?
No,
I mean,
when I had this conversation with Brian, no, I'm not folding ace king. I'm not folding ace queen.
the fuck is the difference?
Wait, so you're folding ace jack?
Yes,
The fuck is the difference?
maybe.
If you have,
I didn't think he'd put in half his stack and fold. Good.
if you have ace
You
10 of
have
diamonds,
top pair.
if you have ace 10 of diamonds, do you call?
Like a backdoor?
What the fuck is the difference?
I'm just seeing, man.
We're seeing where the line
I'm
is.
trying to figure out where the line is. Relax. We know you call.
I don't understand. If your thinking was, I'm going to massage this table to eventually throw shit against the wall, and then a man reaches down the backside of his pants,
That he did. That he did.
pulls out a fat turd and slaps you across the face with it.
It's not.
Whatever would make you think that the next adjustment should be to tighten up.
Well, metaphorically speaking, I like your analogy. I just thought he had it. Look, I'll just be real honest. Like,
No,
I just,
yeah, obviously you thought he had
I just
it.
didn't see a world where this guy's going to put in half his stack.
But
And then
why do you care?
not
Like,
have it.
let him just have it.
I mean, words from Efro is, this is worse than when Guapo took a shit, took a pick, and didn't flush it.
What?
Fuck you, Ethan.
Is it a sense of pride or like some innate desire to just like be right that drives the I thought he had it so I'll fold mentality?
No, it's I'm just being honest with you.
No,
like,
I understand. I'm
didn't
asking
see
a
this
genuine
guy.
question.
I haven't seen this guy bluff. He didn't have much behind. Like, I didn't want to play a huge pot when I had only invested $20. Like, I just thought the guy had it,
Well,
and I was wrong.
But you already started to play a huge pot when you 5x pre and then c-bet half pot.
And just so you know, 5x pre sounds crazy, but that's just the standard open at 1-2.
No, but my point is it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter if it's standard. It doesn't matter if you have a tight range or a wide range or whatever the case may be. Like, if you're 100 blinds effective, or in this case less, when you already commit to putting in 5 big blinds before the flop and then another 5 after, you've already dedicated yourself to playing a big pot.
Mm-hmm. This is kind of like I was trying to explain to Guapo. I was like I don't know why you're just auto like half potting every single board, and you were saying, well, they're just folding. I'm like, yeah, but they'll just fold for $6, or if they don't, they'll call, and then you just win more money on the turn. So like that was like my frustration a little bit too.
Well, that's
like,
where you end up getting
right.
backed into a scenario where you redline until they attempt to like push you off of it or whatever, or basically display that they have a better hand.
Mm-hmm.
But at that point, you've crossed the point of no return.
Right.
Like when he check raises to $50, the reason why you feel in an awkward spot where like he can't ever have worse and it feels like it's a torch putting any more money in is because the amount of money that has already entered this pot is so significant that no one should have any fold equity left, and we're like overcommitted. And it's like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, this is just like how you make money, you know, just guys overvaluing their hands and doing stupid shit. If you had like, you know, I don't know, I wouldn't even fold a 9. I would just like YOLO it in. Like, this is the biggest thing that I think like people with low and mid stakes struggle with is understanding that when you have enough equity that's worthy of realizing, it doesn't matter if you're beaten. Right? Like, I think people get into this fixed mindset of, I just knew I was beat, so I folded. Mm-hmm. And it's like, yeah, but you had like 40% equity. There's a great example from the Game of Gold that we'll get into when we go through the review, where twice, is her name Nikita?
Yes.
Nikita Luther.
Yeah, Nikita. Twice Nikita got put into a situation where she faced like some aggression in front of her, and she had ace queen suited and then ace queen off. Mm-hmm. So the ace queen suited, she 3-bet folded, and then the ace queen off, it went raise jam for 9 blinds, and she just turbo mucked in a 4-handed sit and go. And in both scenarios, like, she's just conditioned to believe that action means that ace queen is no good. But like in the ace queen suited situation, she put herself in a spot where she only needed 27% equity to call off. Mm-hmm. So as long as she doesn't get shown exactly aces, she's always making a profitable call, right? And
there's some ICM considerations, but not in that scenario because you have so much.
Regardless, to the point that I'm trying to make,
right.
It doesn't matter if you are beaten if you're getting beyond the right price to continue with the amount of equity that you have. And the way that I'm trying to relay this to the small stakes is that nobody's radar of I just knew I was beat is anywhere near as accurate as they believe it to be.
Yeah.
So like a hand like top pair, the likely equity that you have facing a check raise there is always going to be greater than 50. It's not like he just has 2-pair plus exclusively through a check raise off of 80 blinds or whatever.
Okay.
Especially whenever, you're playing in a game where the reason you're doing what you're doing is because people can be manipulated at those stakes.
Okay, so that's the takeaway. That's not so much specifically this hand. I think the big takeaway here for me was, and again, I don't know if this was just this table, but after literally hours of just playing every single hand I could possibly think of, no one changed. No one started 3-betting. No one started bluffing. Like, they were content with just sitting there and just waiting for the hand and just saying, okay, I'm going to stick it to this guy when I finally get it. Like no one adjusted.
Well,
so I don't know if the big takeaway here is
they just may not have had the opportunity to, right? So they play so loose passively pre that they're calling trying to make pairs, and they probably just kept missing pairs. And so they didn't have anything that they could check raise with. But this guy finally made bottom pair.
Right. And like Guapo, I think like what you were like your not your strategy, but like the concept of what you wanted to do was good. You wanted to loosen the table up. You wanted to play a bunch of pots, get people to start splashing around. I just think the execution was off a little bit. Like I know like obviously you kind of got what you wanted and then you didn't follow through and win the hand. Or continue to play the hand. And then there was other spots where, you were like auto c-betting $10, like half pot, right? And you're just like, they're just folding. I'm just winning every hand. I'm winning every hand. This is like, why would I do anything different? And I was like, well, you should do different things. And I think I didn't, when we were talking about it afterwards, I didn't articulate it well enough. But after I was thinking about it, what I think the problem is that when you just half pot, like you're going to win a bunch of hands, right? And you're like, that's good. I'm like, no, that's not good because you're not making them indifferent at all, right? You're not giving them tough decisions with their really bad hands. So like if you bet, when you get a very dry board, now you bet a quarter pot, now they have they're still going to auto fold their absolute nothing, but their certain hands other hands are going to be indifferent or have tough decisions. And that's the goal of poker, is to put people into tough decisions, not just win the pot.
Let me ask you a question. When you're playing 1-2 and you bet half pot on flop, 10 and the 20, do you think it has any difference between 6 and the 20?
No.
Like zero. Well, as in to other players.
No.
I don't think they call wider. I think it's the same amount. Like,
I mean, I don't. Yeah. So a little bit. There's probably a little portion of the range that's going to call quarter over their call half. They're still going to overfold. The problem is they're going to overfold half. Or overfold to a quarter, the same amount that they'll overfold half.
The game you guys should actually play is how small can I bet till they start wilding out.
Right.
You guys should actually just like start playing around with betting one big blind.
Yeah.
On all flops.
Yeah, I did that once.
He actually did do that a couple times. But like,
and then I just bombed turn, and then it just got through.
Yeah, that's the point, right? Because now you're forcing them to be uncomfortable, and though you're kind of forcing them into corrective behavior,
they're gonna make more mistakes on the turn.
Yeah, eventually, like they're gonna get sick of folding the turn, and then they're gonna start check raising the flop more. They're gonna do some other stupid shit. And the whole point is like if you're prepared theoretically, then you're the one putting them into a position to play a guessing game.
Yeah, like and neither Guapo or I won in that stack you see of me was kind of made up. Neither one of us won in this game. There's no way I could get to 800 chips in this game. It was like literally impossible. It's like cool somebody off a couple of times, but that's what happened. We ended up playing cool poker. We both got cooled off in a couple hands, and then you just lose. And it's like. It's like if you're just like c-betting and taking down the flop a bunch of times.
Yeah, I think it's just a big error to open 5x. I think it's a big error to bet half pot.
I think it is too. I kind of been saying that. Since I've been talking to you, since we've been doing in the muck segment, I've changed. I was opening to 10. Now I opened to 8, which maybe is even
it's
still
either
too
4x
much.
or 5x.
Right.
No one is.
I would open 2.5x. Why? Like, why are you so afraid of?
I don't understand. You're gonna go like 6 ways.
Then go 6 ways.
Yeah,
Why?
Because you're not making money like this.
Wait a
right,
minute.
right. That's
Whoa,
what that.
whoa, whoa.
No, Berkey's
Listen,
right.
Hold on a second, because I've seen sample sizes now of hundreds of hours of somebody who is always opening 4x and 5x, and they are absolutely destroying these games. They're destroying the game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe the games are better. Like if you're in a loose, splashy game
Exactly.
where you're opening 5x and going 3 ways.
Exactly. I know who you're talking about, and I was also thinking about this as well. What he does is he plays at night in much better games. He doesn't like if he's playing in that game we were playing in. You should 2.5. You should just 2.5. But when you're in a much deeper game and a much splashier game, then yeah, I think opening to 5x is much better, and that's probably why he's doing better. I mean, he's obviously doing better because he's playing better games.
Why are we playing this game in the first place?
Right. Yes, we should have left a long time ago. We were just kind of having fun and just hanging out and like whatever. Like we should have just both moved to a better table. But if we wanted to like play with each other,
but like you should be able to. You should still be able to redline a table like this to death.
Correct. Yeah.
The whole point is like, depending on how loose or tight a table is, all it does is front load or back load the point at which you redline.
Mm-hmm.
So if a table is like really loose and splashy, you push that point way forward, right? You're trying to get the SPR low, and you're trying to play more all-in pots on flop and turn. When the table is really tight and passive, then you're trying to push that to the river. So you do a lot of small betting, flops, pre-flop, flop, turn.
Yes.
You want to escalate. You want to be able to play a lot more theoretically sound, where you're 2.5xing pre, knowing that you're never getting 3-bet, and you don't care if it goes multi-way. And then you're going to play like, if anything, you should get sharper at like bomb pot strategy. You'll figure out when you can stab out of position, when you can stab from in the middle, when you can stab in position, things like that. And you're doing it all for very small sizes. Like B10 becomes really real.
So in the macro, when I'm playing in these games, if I'm at a really tight table, it's better to not front load. It's better to just try to get to the turn.
It's a nightmare to front load because they're too tight.
Yeah, that was what I was trying to say the other night, and I was like, I wish Berkey was here because he would articulate it better and he'd be able to explain it better. But that's pretty much exactly what I was trying to get at.
Okay.
Like I would go to the most uncomfortable extremes. Open min, see what happens. Who gives a shit? Right? Like, what's the worst that's going to happen? That a lot of the bad hands that they've been folding, they call with?
Mm-hmm.
Who cares?
Yeah, like you're getting a lot of players to put in money and bad, and like when it just goes like 5-6 ways to the flop, that game is the players are not strong, because any very very strong game you go in, you never see it go 5-6 ways. So you just know you're playing in a game with weak opponents, and they're going to be forced to play after the flop, or you should have an advantage. And that's you're just going to make money that way.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that they are all going to be very poor at estimating the equity of their hands and pricing them appropriately. So when you go multi-ways, it's very easy for you to just determine and range your opposition, right? Like, so you'll figure out pretty quickly through stabs, through double barrels and things of that nature, where you can start charging, where you could start realizing through small bets. You're just in complete and utter control in these scenarios. And like, I don't know. I mean, I see this a lot in the bomb pots that I play. They're 9-handed to the flop with a bunch of people who are terrible multi-way players, but are accustomed to going multi-way because they're just playing bingo. And it's the easiest fucking game on earth for me. Like, I win so many bomb pots uncontested on the turn after betting 5% pot on the flop. That 5% pot on the flop, nobody has the guts to trap because boards are scary and anyone could have anything.
All uncapped ranges.
Right. They're all uncapped ranges. So when they call, we see a turn and then they're completely capped. Like, they could never have a nutted hand on the flop. So now if the turn doesn't improve anything that was a natural draw, they're fucked. And they never, ever hold on second pair or worse. They just never call twice with second pair. And that's how 1-2 and 1-3 play, right? They'll just never call twice with second pair, not realizing that the equity of second pair is like 45%, 50%, maybe more, depending on the texture.
All right.
So yeah, I mean, I think you need to challenge yourself, especially you're so massively overrolled. Like, you're not playing 1-3 to pay rent.
Yeah.
Like, it's a good opportunity to kind of get your feet wet in the live environment,
Scientist.
challenge yourself. Yeah.
And you're not gonna they're not going to put you in tough spots. Like
yeah, that was very evident. Yeah.
Right. So it's like you're already a better player than them after the flop. Why not force them into playing multiple streets post flop?
I think the big mindset shift is understanding that your goal is to make profitable decisions, not to win pots.
Right. That's what I was saying too. Yes. Make profitable.
Say that again.
Your goal is to make profitable decisions, not to win all the pots. If you win all the pots and then get cooled off, it doesn't amount to shit.
And that's exactly what happened. Yeah. And then it's like that's what I was trying to say. I was like, yes, if you bet half pot on every flop, then you're just you're going to win a lot of pots. But there's a more plus EV play to be made, and that's betting appropriate bet sizes on certain board textures.
So that was in the muck.
Yeah,
Dun, dun,
that was a good one. That was a good one because it's not just like
it's not specifically about the hand.
Yeah,
it's
how
about
do I
the
play this hand?
Very, very, very common at low stakes.
Right. Yeah, and I think
very big misconception.
Right. Exactly, and that's kind of what we're trying to get to here. So like, I'm glad that we decided to do that one because it shows everything else that's going on at the table besides just your two cards in front of you.
Yeah, I think. One specific thing that's worth addressing is I think a lot of people are of the perception that because they're playing against droolers and people who aren't thinking theoretically about the game, that theory somehow doesn't work. Mm-hmm. And that's just like fundamentally false because no matter how brain dead your opposition is, they still have a range. Even if it's not a theoretical range, even if it's not a well-constructed range, they still have a range.
They still have some form of cards.
It could be a random range, and it's still a range. So the more vision that you have over that, the better that you're going to be able to comprehend how the equities favor or disfavor one specific part. And inherently, a lot of people do this, right? Like they'll be able to see a board texture where they're like, oh, there's a one-liner to the 9, and my opponent just doesn't really ever have a 9 through this line work.
Yeah.
And they'll capitalize on that. But those spots are like few and far in between for people who aren't well studied. For people who are well studied, that's how the game just breaks down in every single situation. You just have like pretty clear vision over your opposition's range, and you say like, oh, he has a high concentration here to these particular assets, like high cards or middle pairs or worse, like whatever. You're able to just see pretty clearly where the delineation is between strength and weakness in their range.
Right.
And then you're able to act appropriately. When they're heavily weighted towards stronger hands, we start to play a much more passive defensive strategy. Mm-hmm. When they're heavily weighted towards nothing, i.e. King Deuce 3 Rainbow, we're just going to have a range bet. And that's all predicated upon having a reasonable understanding of what your opponent's range looks like and how handcuffed or incapable they are of doing anything about it. So yeah, I think that the vast majority of people, like, it's a cop-out to think that they can just do better by quote-unquote reading the environment than ever getting like sharp on the underlying math of the game.
I mean, if you can do better, you would move up and you would play against better people and still win, but you don't, so you can't.
The argument would be that the environment gets tougher. So people stay low stakes because that's where they have good reads on their competition. And there's probably some truth to that.
There's some truth, but now you're capped.
Yeah.
Congrats on your $25 an hour.
Okay,
at most.
Some people want to make 25.
Which is fine,
Relax,
but
bro.
Damn.
What the fuck's wrong with you?
He's just mad because I told him he doesn't play enough volume.
Oh.
I'm not mad. It's just like, if that's what you want, okay, but that's your cap. You're capping yourself on purpose. And if you have talent, you should do more than that.
What's your cap if you don't play poker?
I play poker.
Played yesterday.
Oh, sorry.
We're going to dress up in old men costumes and go play the fucking Jewel of the South. We're going to be like
Let's
this.
go.
Boy.
We're going to show up like in when what's his face from Jackass, like
They dressed up, yeah.
It's going to be me and Landon, like slight hunch in our back. We're going to come down there and be like, what's the minimum buy-in?
No.
here?
You have to say what's the card of the month.
Oh, the hot card. What's the hot card?
What's the hot card down here tonight? And then we're just going to be like, blah, blah, blah.
2x pot.
Yeah.
3x pot.
Just hitting them
Three of them
with
to death.
geo-sizings and shit.
I'm all in. Call. I got a deuce.
That would be great. Honestly, that would be really fucking fun.
Yeah, sounds like a bit.
Maybe we'll do it next Halloween.
See, Burke? You can have fun playing small stakes.
He put it on the back burner for a year. You heard that? Next Halloween. He's like, it'll be really fun. Let's save it till next year.
I feel like it would be less deceptive if we were dressed as old men on Halloween.
Well, we can just get.
It feels really scummy to just be like a high stakes pro who comes down in full fucking makeup.
Wait,
and just,
didn't Phil Locke do that?
Yeah, in the World Series, man. They made a rule over it.
Right.
What, they made a rule he can't do that?
Yeah.
You're not allowed to like.
Yeah, he showed up
conceal
like
your,
exactly what Berkey was saying.
You're not allowed to conceal your identity.
Mm-hmm.
What if he identified as an old man?
Well, these were pre-identification days, so
That's
yeah,
right.
maybe there's a loophole now.
Yeah.
If you guys find yourself in the muck, be sure to head over to our Discord channel. You can hit #Discord in the chat to get the link, or you can check us out at onlyfriends_pod on Twitter. It's the pinned tweet. That link will take you direct to our Discord. We have a forum there called In the Muck Submissions. Would love to hear more from you guys. Currently, that well is dry. I think we've done them all. So yeah, be sure to contribute. Would love to hear from you all.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get to the meat and potatoes. The thing that I've been wanting to talk about all weekend. GG's Game of Gold.
Yep. Well, I didn't watch till this morning, so
Okay.
I couldn't talk about it this weekend.
Oh, well, we just assumed you had the chat muted, but
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Before I forget,
Yeah.
you were just talking about Nikita and the ace queen fold and
Yep.
how there was action in front of her.
Yes.
When they were in the room, her team literally said, "Do not get fourth."
Yeah,
So
I get that.
and there's a little ICM kind of.
No, there's not.
I mean, she went in with like, okay, I'm not getting fourth, and I'm just gonna try to ladder up, and then there was just ways for her to ladder.
No, not in that spot.
This episode 1 you're talking about?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, okay, like I don't care that much about the mechanics of the hand. Like I'm very interested in talking about the game show strategy as a whole. But first, like them telling her not to get fourth is, in my opinion, a strategic oversight. The difference between fourth and third, as far as coins were concerned, were very minuscule, especially with the way that they escalate through the tiers.
Right, but getting fourth puts you in a spot to get eliminated before you even can use your coins. So that's the problem.
No, that's not necessarily true. Like, all right, so let's
Right, whoever gets the least amount of coins, that team is eliminated. Right? Did I misunderstand how that?
yes,
how that worked?
collectively throughout all 4 sit and goes.
Right.
Whoever wins or gets fourth place in the first sit and go
Got
is
you.
almost going to have no impact on the final outcome.
Because the other sit and goes are worth so much
Correct.
more. Gotcha.
Yeah, they're so heavily weighted in 2, 3, and 4 that the first sit and go is relatively insignificant. And the correct thing to say, even to somebody that you might think is one of the weaker players, is win.
Outside of winning it, yeah, you should be doing whatever you can to win it.
Right, but like the difference, 6 to 13 coins here is relatively insignificant, right? Like it's not that significant. Now,
30's a lot, though.
right, now getting second is obviously worth a fair amount. 30 was first.
30 was first.
Right.
First
So
match.
the difference between 6 and 20, if you're able to ladder to second, is a different story. But the point is like when you say don't get fourth at all no matter what you do, what you're basically saying is don't ever gamble. And it's a 4-handed sit and go that's a turbo style type sit and go.
Yeah.
It's the
You
exact
have to
opposite.
gamble.
You have to gamble. And the notion should be if you get to being top 2 in chips, don't get fourth.
Yeah.
Right? Because then you might actually have a situation to ladder. Anyway, if you want to talk about it from the standpoint of like she was just obeying her team's order, it's like, okay, well then either don't 3-bet or 3-bet jam. Like just take the decision away from yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can't really hedge the
We're getting
strat.
a little ahead of ourselves. Should we like break down how what this is, how the game works,
Yep.
and everything? So I think what happens is there's 16 players, I believe.
16 players, 4
Right.
teams of 4.
Right. So you walk in, you pick a random card. They're all aces.
Yep.
And then whatever suit you get, that's your team.
Yeah.
And then so they play. So to start, you're going to play 4 sit and goes where everyone gets coins, and the more coins you have, 1 coin is per big blind
Yep.
for the final sit and go that you're probably going to play. And you start off each playing sit and goes, and it just keeps you get more and more coins per sit and go. Is that correct?
Yeah. So that's correct. The other caveat is after this round 1 team who has the fewest coins will be eliminated.
Okay.
Now there are a few other like nuances to this. If you use a time bank, that costs you a coin. So there's a little bit of EV loss to using time banks in this scenario.
Right.
Secondarily, they don't know what the final sit and go in round 1 is going to be worth.
Right. Yeah, it's hidden.
And here's the thing.
It could be less.
That's the big thing.
But they're not taking that into consideration.
Right. No one considered that it could potentially be equal to or less than the third
I thought of
sit
that
and go.
immediately.
I hope it's one fucking coin.
It would be hilarious because everyone put the best play, what they think is the best player on their team.
Sort of. So, first of all, I think like there are. It's really funny. So I think that there are some really brilliant poker minds in here, specifically in like Fedor and Kuhn.
Yeah.
And then I think that there are some like really high level game show strategists in like
Kmart.
David Williams and Kmart. The irony is the best strategy conversations that I've seen thus far have come from the old guard.
Josh Aurier.
Josh,
Fucking goat.
Josh, knowing that like he's a dog heads up to Charlie in episode 2 and just saying like, well, I didn't plan on limp calling off King 9 for 15 bigs, but I'm just a big dog here at a 3-2 or 3-1 chip deficit, and
gamble.
You're better than me, so call, and he just wins.
You limp call King 9 heads up.
Yeah.
Seems fun.
Well, King 9 offers 16 is probably a little bit loose.
Listen, it's not an accident that he has 10 million in earnings and 12 million in earnings.
It's just a decent play anyway.
I think it's just like borderline.
I mean, I think I think it's probably pretty close. King 9 is obviously a high 5 call off. But in any event, like
he's in. He's in.
I think that's super sharp.
Very sharp.
Because he's already secured second place. He knows he's a dog in a turbo format where he probably hasn't studied, heads up big blind ante ranges at sub 20.
Just ever.
Yeah, it's just like basically the beauty of this is that I think that there's a wide spectrum of poker talent here, and I think that only a few of them are well versed in sit and goes, specifically turbo sit and goes, right? So it kind of levels the playing field a lot through the variance, through the structure and everything else. And now the bigger game comes into play. Why are you cringing? You just said it was fine.
No, the Jack 10 jam I don't think is correct.
Oh,
It's just a check.
I mean, he said he had to read. And to be fair, he was right. REA literally changed his mind.
He's like, my read was
Gotta
right.
trust the reads, bro.
But I want to talk like bigger. Well, before I talk bigger picture strategy, I want to talk about the teams. So it was pulled at random, right? And like I said, there are a lot of high level players in here. So there's Fedor, there's Kuhn, there's Jungle Man, Charlie Carroll, Daniel. Well, then you start to get into like more of the old guard. Right. So it's like Daniel, David, Maria, Josh Aurier, and then there's like kind of the younger crowd that is a little lesser known. Robin,
Kinda.
Why can't I think of her name? Oh, Olga and Kmart,
right?
As well as I guess
Charlie.
Nikita. No, Charlie's definitely like one of the tougher competitors. And then there's like Yo and Andy who are like the cash TV players, so to speak. So it's a really wide spectrum of talent that I don't think could have broken down into teams any better, with the exception of the D-Negs, Kuhn, Soiza.
That's a
Kmart team. Holy shit.
That's a good team.
I'm rooting so hard for them to get eliminated.
fucking too.
I'm rooting so hard for them to get eliminated because the first round is so high variance. It's just 4 turbo sit and goes. And you don't have that much control.
Right.
Kmart played his sit and go perfectly and finished 4th.
I was so happy to see that.
I'm like low key too. I'm friends with Jason. I'm friends with Daniel. I
like them all.
I just got to meet Kmart and like he's a good dude. I'm rooting so hard for them to get eliminated first because that team is so fucking stacked.
Yeah.
They have 3 of the best players in the house and they have the best reality TV show competitor in the house.
Here's the thing is like someone who loves these kinds of these reality shows, right? The Challenge, Big Brother, Survivor. It's hard to, like, I know you're rooting against them, but like after this first round, they might disband the team.
So that's the thing. Right? It's almost certain that they will.
Right. So that's so it's like, I want them to get eliminated because they're too tough, but like they're probably just going to disband anyways. That's how these shows work, right? Well, you start off in teams,
I don't want them
and
to
then
get disbanded because I think the team is going to just.
You just want them out because they're too good.
Just
get out.
They're all good. I just want to see chaos.
Yeah,
like get them all out.
That's true.
I don't want to see the weakest team get eliminated.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be funny to see how this whole thing plays out because like, what do they have in store right now? It's just very poker heavy, right? Where I would like to see more of the challenge, the Big Brother strategy come in where you're voting for, like maybe you had like like
It's a poker show, man.
Yeah, I know it's a poker show,
I
but
get it, yeah, but they gotta step
you
outside the
you have
box,
other
too.
elements, right? That's what you don't want it to just all be poker, right? So like, say you had maybe they do like all these sit and goes instead of like the 4 people getting eliminated who come in the bottom. You could have just like whatever team won had the most coins at the end. Now the other 4 teams are at risk, and then the team that won is like, say they have immunity, and then the other teams vote one person on their team into elimination, and then have a 3-handed sit and go. And
I don't want it to always come down to a sit and go.
I don't know. Well, I think a lot of it is because it's poker after dark.
It's too much, though.
Right.
It's too much. So, like, the first 2 episodes, they reach 50 minutes long. The first episode was a perfect balance. It was a perfect balance of reality TV and poker.
Right, and that's what
the second episode was not.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why I want the strategy of voting someone off your team and you know,
But you're
making
advocating for adding
alliances.
more sit and goes.
Well, no, I'm saying that could be.
We just can't show this much poker.
Okay, I'm just saying. So it doesn't have to be that. So then you could just vote somebody off.
Yeah, but that would probably be one of the next phases.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. I hope there's more of that element to it. What I'm not advocating for more poker. I'm advocating for more of the the Survivor style strategy.
That'll happen. The thing is that the poker will always just be what it is.
We don't even know what it's going to be like. You know, this is only level like step 1.
Right, but like the poker will always, like whatever poker gets utilized as the vehicle to drive the game show will always be what it is. It's either going to be a 4-handed sit and go, a 3-handed sit and go, or a heads up sit and go. There's nothing else.
The poker's going to be the challenges. Poker's going to be
right,
the
but the challenges aren't going to be unique. Is my point. It's not like when you're on Survivor and then you do a puzzle game and then you do a physical game.
I know.
And then
well, there's only so much you can do with poker.
That's my point. Yeah. So you have to minimize the poker.
Okay.
You can't. You can't overemphasize the poker because when we had a show, episode 1, there was 25 minutes of learning the characters, learning the teams, hearing the strategies, going into it, and then a dozen hands. That was a perfect balance.
I agree with you because the second episode. See, it's funny because Conrad said you like the second episode better, and it was all poker.
It was way too much poker.
And I agree. That's why I want it to be a little bit more. Like you said,
I can't watch poker. 52 minutes of Yo going, if he shoves here, I quit the game. I
never want to hear Yo.
Come on, that was great.
No, it's great, but you can look. All right, so say Yo has 10 sound bites all season long.
Yeah.
If you pull 4 of them from the second episode, it's going to get repetitive.
Right. And I mean, let's see. There's another episode out today, I believe, and then
that's the one we just watched.
Oh, the second one was
Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Okay, so then Wednesday and Friday. Yeah, Monday, Wednesday, Friday they come out. I hope you're right. I hope we do get to see a lot more of behind the scenes and strategy and making alliances, this and that, instead of not just all poker.
So with regard to this is the way that I think that the structure is going to break down. If I have to anticipate stuff, is that they start round 1 with inherent alliances, and that's why they get broken down into teams. Mm-hmm. I assume round 2. So it's 4 rounds total. 3 of the teams will carry on into round 2. So that means 12 people will continue.
Right.
I personally hope that they do something where only 3 of the 4 people of the losing team get eliminated.
Yeah.
So I hope that there's something that allows
bring somebody back.
Yeah, you
or
always
a battle back.
You always want to see. You always want to see the element of it's so anticlimactic.
It's going to be a heads up sit. Of
course.
Fine, I don't care. But
that's why I wanted. That's why I advocated for the top team gets immunity, and then all the other 4 teams are at risk, and then they vote.
Yeah, but that's too much because now you have a full elimination episode surrounded around 12 people. I don't care about that. That's too much noise. I want to see 2 people battle it out.
Yeah, I don't know.
4 people.
I don't know. I disagree, but
okay. I mean, fine, but
it's just preference of.
It's also better because the way they have it set up now, that doesn't exist. Mm-hmm. But now there could be a twist, episode 3 or episode 4, where they're like, okay, we're sorry, team clubs, you've been eliminated. However, there's an immunity challenge.
Now you all play a sit and go, and the one of you that wins gets to stay.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Or they just say something like, however, so-and-so has the most coins of the 4 of you, which allows them to be immune.
Right.
And now that speaks back to the initial thing that David was talking about, which is crazy that nobody else picked up on this.
I'm not giving any information out for free.
Well, no, not
did
that.
Say that, but
not that.
No, he's just fucking with you, man.
You have to want to play the 4th match. Yeah. You have to. The whole point of this game is to accumulate coins.
Right.
So you want to play the highest stakes match at all times.
Right.
everybody was like opting out of the fourth match.
They don't let the team down.
Yeah.
That's so insane. That's the whole point. This isn't a team competition.
Right.
It's an individual
Right, yeah,
competition. They lost sight of the ball.
We did forget to mention that at the end of this, there's only be one winner, and they get 456,000, which is a really random number.
Really random.
I thought that too.
Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe there might be something towards the end, but yeah, the winner's going to get 456,000.
I know why.
Okay.
The producer of the show played a lot of CeeLo growing up. 4, 5, 6 is a head crack.
There
baby.
we go. Yeah.
No one knows what CeeLo is, man.
Come on, stop your shit, man.
CeeLo
Is a
Green?
head crack, baby.
CeeLo Green?
You ain't
Yes,
never.
and.
Hold on, time out. You
Yes,
never rolled
and.
dice on the
No.
the lunchroom table?
No.
Oh my God, that's all we did. We didn't even go to class for the
See
year.
you driving around town
For
with
the year I was in
love,
for the
and
year
I'm
I was in high school, we rolled dice in the corner basically the whole time and played CeeLo.
Yeah, I'm shocked that you didn't make it out. Color me surprised.
What do you mean you made it here?
But yeah, so like if it's weird to me that there's no future anticipation out of these guys. Like and you know, maybe some of them are just playing it cool. Like Fedor knew he was gonna get to be the anchor. So there's no reason for him to speak up.
Yeah.
David kind of took control of his team and he was sharp and knew he wanted to be the anchor.
Yeah, and then
so
you
he
had-
just took charge.
Then you had Daniel and Jason, and they were like, well, they what'd they do? They did a
They flipped for it, but I feel
yeah.
like they weren't thinking big picture about the game either.
Well, I think maybe not big picture, but at the same time, you flip and you know that the third game is still going to get you a lot of coins for winning. And
if you're Jason, you want that fourth game.
I think he wants fourth too, but he also didn't want to come off too strong as like I'm going to
Exactly.
play fourth because
Why
Daniel.
though? The team's going to almost certainly disband. Once you know one of the teams gets eliminated, you're very confident that the teams are going to disband.
Yeah, but like in these games like this, you definitely don't want to become too hot too quick, because then you become a
It doesn't
target.
matter,
You don't
just
know
put-
you don't know the format later on, and if you're like coming in too hot and too
when you're the best,
I'm sure
you're-
Jason's okay with his poker skills, man.
Yeah, like when you're one of the best poker players there, I just don't think that you can like.
They're not going to vote him out from a not poker thing.
you don't know how the game's gonna.
My point is that you're going to gravitate to an extreme, right? If you're one of the best players in the house, you're almost always going to be a threat to get cast out anyway, or you're going to be a major asset, in which case you're going to be immune the whole time.
Yeah.
So guys like Fedor, Jason, Charlie, they're always going to be in that upper tier where they're either always getting cast aside quickly because they're too big of a threat to everybody else and they want to band against them, or they're just the strongest players in the house and everybody wants to try to align with them.
Yeah, at the very least, I would assume, you never really know with the structure. No one knows how the game works anyways. We're 2 episodes in for who knows how many episodes it's going to be.
Yeah.
For step 1 of like a team game where you want to survive, I call it survive in advance, you're not going to have your best player go first.
No,
Right?
for
so
sure.
by default, Kuhn is going to go at least 3rd or 4th.
Yeah, agreed with that.
Same thing with Fedor.
I was shocked to see Soiza go first, and
I think he just wanted to
Kevin Martin-
win, like just wanted to win on the board, kind of thing.
He didn't play like it.
He did not play like it in some
And
spots.
that's not really
no.
a slight against his ability. I know he's an
Good at
excellent
poker, plays
poker
high-stakes
player,
poker.
but there was a spot 3-handed where Olga had over half the chips to play. I think she had like 5 of 8 million, and he had like 1.2, and Nikita had like 1 million. So he had like 1 or 2 more big blinds than her. Olga's just open jamming, and he like folded ace-8 off, with Nikita left to act.
Yeah.
And it's like, I get it. There's a little bit of ICM here between 2nd and 3rd, and you're pretty probable to finish 2nd or 3rd. But if you call in double, it's only a 3-2 chip disparity now between you and Olga, who's jamming any 2, and you almost certainly secure 2nd place, right? As opposed to just passing on the spot, eventually jamming blind versus blind, losing to Nikita, and then just being out the next hand.
To be fair, that was the first one that we saw, I believe.
Well, yeah, we have no idea what got cut.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The first
That's
one
even worse, though.
that we saw.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's even worse. Like, he might have passed on other spots.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Right? Like
don't get me wrong, but like at the same time, it's also like if that was the first one, it's like maybe.
Oh, I don't think it matters. It was like for 8 blinds.
Yeah.
It's just like at some point.
I mean, yeah, we're not sure like ICM gold coin value yet.
Right. Well,
I mean, you
I think they
kinda
mentioned
can.
something in the beginning, isn't it? Something like 220 coins or something like that.
Yeah,
or did they just use that as an example?
I don't know if they used an example or if it was. Yeah, I'm not sure. But it looked like the top coinage was like 225 or something big blinds, which would be 25 big blinds.
Right, which means that it's probably likely to be around 50 big blinds per challenge that you can max out on, which gives you a pretty decent estimate of what the hidden match will be as well.
Yeah, a lot of stuff here. It looks fun though.
It looks so much fun, man. The strategies within the strategy, like there's a little bit of it's kind of like you almost kind of want to take a similar strategy as you would with Werewolf, in spite of the fact that there's no hidden information on what the individuals are, right? But like you want to be able to have that like end game strat in play without the full information of what the game necessarily is. So like I think David looking ahead and recognizing that, you know, round 1 playing match 4 is a massive spot to accumulate. Like, okay, whatever, you get 4th place in round 4, you might get 25 coins for that.
Yeah.
That's equivalent to like 1st place in round 1,
right?
Or it's pretty close. You know what I mean? So, especially in like Turbo Sit and Goes, I don't think anybody could, even if you put Jason in round 1, it's not like he's such an overwhelming favorite to win it.
Oh, are we sure they don't split the coins up at the end or no? They get to keep their coins because like when they showed like after the sit and go ended each one, they showed like the total coins for the team and they didn't show individual coins. So I'm not sure that you get to keep the exact coins of the sit and go that you played in. I'm not sure. I'm just asking.
I'm not sure either.
Yeah.
Interesting.
As in like if you win it yourself, you get to keep the coins versus the team's coin, and then you chop
go to
it.
the team. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good question. I was of the impression you got to keep it.
Because if you didn't, then the strategy maybe is.
I would assume
the strategy is massively different if the team is accumulating coins.
Right.
I would assume that. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter what I assume. I have no idea. But like if you win the coins, you probably get to keep them.
That makes
the most logical sense. It's a gambling game, right? You win 16 coins. Be the way you get 16 coins, and your team has 16. But
okay, say 16 again.
16.
That seems to be the way that it was advertised. But again, I might just be reading too much into what David was saying with projecting how it was going to ultimately pan out. I don't know. Like, you're right. I assume some of this is like kind of left to your own imagination on purpose.
Expect the unexpected.
To keep people kind of guessing on what proper strat is and stuff like that. But I find it fascinating how like animated Yo Viral is and how little Fedor cares.
Yeah,
he just like doesn't give a shit.
He got a little animated. He got a little hyped up for some of the
only when Charlie drilled the ace.
Yeah, he did. He jumped up when Charlie drilled the ace.
Out with the French accent. But yeah, I mean, I think that it's so strange. My rooting interest changed so much from episode 1 to ep 2. Like ep 1, I was like, man, I just want to see Jason and Daniel's team dominate. Like this is such a packed team. And then Soyza jam turned with aces and the ace of spades, and I was like, fuck these guys. I want them to get crushed.
Get them out.
I'm just like, if you're not going to play perfectly, then I certainly don't want you to win any longer. And then like I kind of fell in love with Josh's team. You know, kind of obviously like was very nervous going into the first match. She was screaming for wine.
Yeah.
And then Josh just comes out and he's like, I'm going to play the best poker of my life, which is like obviously funny because it's like, well, you're playing a turbo sit and go. And,
right.
But he's like such an OG gambler, and then he just comes out and he wins. So it's like, okay, like I can kind of get behind them.
Yeah.
I am so rooting for Josh.
Yeah.
Like he's my number one on the list.
He's so easy to root for.
It's funny because like if you asked me to like pick 3 people that I would say are going to win this thing before it started, I would have said Kuhn, Negreanu, and somebody else. I don't know. But that's the reason why I want this team out.
Yeah,
because like there's just too many.
It's funny. I would have went the other way. I would pick people that I think are like really skillful at the game show aspect of it. So I would thought Kmart would be a huge favorite.
I mean, these are also
David Williams,
but they're still thinking people.
Right.
Like, we play poker.
They understand. They understand how to come up with.
They're going to come up with
strategy on the fly. In games.
But like you're against other poker players and you're a bigger threat. Like to the aggregate, Jason Kuhn's a bigger threat at poker than Kmart.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, Kmart playing Big Brother 3 times has to have some sort of advantage in his favor, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
well, I think David with
just the
being on Master Chef is like so low key,
right?
Because like it's known that Kmart is the game show guy,
right? Yeah.
People forget that like David got down to the finals in Master Chef,
right? Exactly.
And he clearly he has some experience, and people forget Maria was on Amazing Race.
Amazing Race, right? Yep.
You know, like
she's been on a couple different.
They're not
game
on the
shows,
same team, right? She's on Maria's on Josh's team, and
Correct.
David's on Robin, and who else is on that team?
Is Olga on that team?
Yeah, Robin, Olga, David, and who's the fourth?
Jesus.
Who's the fourth?
All of us?
Is it Kina?
No.
No.
Kina's
Kina's
on Maria's
on
team,
Olga.
right?
Yeah.
Get the graphic. Get the graphic.
Yeah, get the graphic.
Help us.
Sorry, I was looking for
Who's the ace of spade?
Oh, Jungle Man.
Jungle Man.
Oh, I mean,
Jesus
obviously.
Christ. Forget.
He's
forget
easy to
Jungle Man.
How could we
forget.
forget?
Yeah.
It's very easy to forget. He's literally sitting there zoned out. Like,
Wait, how many blinds was that?
We're so good.
The other thing that I think
Comparatively
is
speaking.
easy to forget is that this is an individual game at the end of the day.
Right.
We're talking teams.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Right?
now.
We're picking our teams, like who we want to root for,
That's
stuff
what
like
I'm
that.
saying. Yeah.
Conrad's right. Like you pick a person. Like you anchor yourself to Josh. You anchor yourself like camps are gonna form early for the team aspect of it, but like once we're 5 or 6 episodes in, the field
teams
probably
could be gone. Yeah.
It's very likely we're down to 8 people.
Man, how
Right?
many episodes do you think there are?
I mean, the thing is, if they do a full poker episode in between strategy episodes like that, it's going to be a lot.
If it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
I mean, right. So
We're looking at like 15, 20 episodes maybe.
yeah. Yeah.
You think it's going to...
Probably 4 episodes per round, which
Yeah.
would be 16 episodes.
Yeah.
And then maybe a conclusion. 16 to 18 episodes probably.
Yeah, like a 4-week show.
Yeah.
4
Or
episodes
5-week show maybe.
per round, but there's...
Yeah, maybe this runs
You
until...
think there's 3 rounds?
Runs through
There's 4
Christmas
rounds.
or something like that.
We know there's 4 rounds.
Like there's...
They
this is
announced that there's 4 rounds.
Okay, got it.
That was like... I think maybe people didn't necessarily understand that. Like I was talking to Melissa about this, and she thought the game ended after these 4 sit and goes. I was like, no. This is just round 1.
Round 1.
I want to go back and rewatch the first episode, at least the first like 10, 15 minutes of it, just so I can like conceptualize.
You can become the game.
The outline of the game itself.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see more. I wasn't.
There we go. Let's go, Conrad.
No. I'm going to shit on it right now. I was not happy at the first episode. I thought it was whatever. The second one, I did like more gameplay, more strat talk. I don't care for Yo Viral yelling Charlie Carroll.
Charlie. That was the highlight.
But I think it has potential, and I want to see what happens.
Who do you think the favorite is?
To win the show?
Yeah.
Josh.
Interesting.
I would go with Williams.
Okay.
I would go Kuhn.
Oh man, it has to be someone who. Yeah, Kuhn. I mean,
also
Negreanu maybe.
I am saying this with knowing that that team is lost 2 matches already, or got 3rd and 4th in 2 matches.
Yeah, but they still have Daniel and Jason left to play.
I understand, but like
I don't think Daniel's team will be eliminated.
4 people get eliminated, if the whole team gets eliminated,
Correct.
right? Yeah.
So we assume. We don't know for sure.
yeah.
But my point is, I think with Daniel and Jason to anchor, that I don't believe they're going to get eliminated.
I mean, we'll see.
I still think Maria and Kina's team is in hot water. They got 4th and 3rd. 4th and 3rd.
4th and 3rd, I think.
Yeah.
And I think they both got 4th and 3rd.
Yeah.
Between Kuhn and Fedor, probably.
Well, I think you have to think about gamesmanship as well. It's like it's one thing to be a good poker player, but people who know how to game the system are probably going to have.
I agree with Guapo
Yeah.
completely.
Yeah, me
I
too.
don't think a big enough edge can be garnered in heads up sit and goes where like being as elite as Kuhn and Fedor matters.
Landon's like, no, it's just about the poker. It's only about the poker.
It's
Poker
about
player
the
will win.
ace 5.
They're just smart people that know how games work too.
Right,
I
but they
mean-
can just be eliminated through variance.
Listen, Josh is a goddamn life gambler.
Yeah.
That man is a gangster.
I do like Josh.
He also won his.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah, but he only won the second round. Like that's not that many coins.
Yeah, he's just a gangster. Like,
I do like. I like Josh. I like Robin as a dark horse.
Robin.
The Brit. I
boy
think
Lucas.
he's really sharp. He plays
He is
online
sharp.
sit and goes. He's a streamer. He's very personable. Seems like he gets along with a lot of people. These are all skills and attributes that I think are like pretty favorable. I don't necessarily think he's
oh my God.
very probable to win.
Hold on. Josh is with Maria and Kina.
That's what I thought. Yeah, I was going to say that.
Okay.
Who said otherwise?
Well, you said they
Oh,
were all
right. They got first and fourth. Okay,
Yes, first and
Sorry,
fourth.
I take that back. Then they're
Right.
not in that much danger.
Yeah.
Although maybe if they go fourth, it might not be good enough.
Yeah, I might be in trouble. But we'll see.
But yeah. Anyway, I think my pick to win. I hate to say it because
Yo viral.
no, I don't think Yo's a big favorite to win.
I would actually break my television if Yo wins.
Jeez.
I guess he does care.
I don't.
The reason I hate to say it is because I hate to give so much, put so much weight on the people reading aspect of it. But I do think this stuff comes into play in these game shows. And I think Charlie's like a big favorite.
Charlie.
I think Charlie, like, he's very good at poker. He's very good at the psychology. He might just be a sociopath. Those things are really, really powerful.
You're right.
Just like his shirt.
I love the shirt.
The undershirt.
What shirt? What shirt?
Couldn't put together a better outfit for your national TV debut.
Hey.
This might be on CBS someday, Charlie.
Yeah.
You know, and you're just going to be that free flowing hippie with your nipples hanging out.
Look good.
Rep the
You look
brand.
good, cuz. You'll rep the brand. Yeah, I don't know. I'm interested to see how it works. The thing is that it's tough to pick a favorite early too because the format is so fast.
Yeah.
That literally anybody could be eliminated at any time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's pretty deep to start. You start with 100 bigs, 30-minute levels.
I don't think they're 30, are they? Really?
I think they are. They just edited it down a lot.
I mean, they must just maybe they're just like not getting very many hands per level.
Or they're just taking away the c-bet folds, taking away the...
Oh, no. Of course. They have to do that. You're only pulling the
most interesting hands.
The most interesting hands,
Right.
yeah. What do you guys think about this from a viewer's perspective?
This outfit?
No. If you're just like not that into poker, like how do you think the layperson sees something like this?
It's funny because I was thinking, I'm like, as I was watching it this morning, I'm like, would Michelle like this? Would she like this? And then the second episode happened, and I was like, no, it's too much poker.
Yeah.
It's too much poker. Like,
Yeah.
I thought, like, you know, I was like, the first part of the first episode, I'm like, oh, I was like, she could get into this. And then watching the second, I'm like, she just get bored because she doesn't like, she's not into poker that
The worst
way.
part about it,
So-
the worst part about it being too much poker also is that there isn't a lot of context. So we as insiders in the industry can watch episode 2 and see 15 hands play out, and we can give our commentary and our breakdown of spots and say like, oh, I don't like that, or I do like that. But the thing is like the teams are already doing that. And for the layperson, hearing the teams break it down, hearing Daniel and Jason argue over whether or not Queen 10 is a jam or a raise fold because everyone's playing too tight for ICM is not good TV.
Yeah, they just
at
don't
all.
care.
It's great for insiders.
Yeah.
And that having little snippets of that is nice. But that's why, like, it'd be interesting to see, and maybe they will down the line, find extra twists to the game where it's not true poker anymore. Right. Where it's just kind of a gambling game.
Yeah.
Or a strategic game with inherent gamble added to it that isn't so inside baseball, I guess. Because that's the big draw of like Survivor, Road Rules, Rural Challenge. Like, you can see without saying.
But there are those games that the games are basically through athleticism or mental.
That's what I mean. You just get to see instead of have it explained to you.
You
With
can
poker,
see-
you don't really see that much.
Well, you can only see based off what you think you know. Like if you think somebody's doing something really bad, you're gonna think it's really
Well, I'm
bad.
just saying, if you start with the assumption that no one knows anything, all you're seeing are
Cards.
hands go to showdown.
Yeah.
And that's just not really that meaningful.
No.
So yeah, I mean, I think that it's really important that the challenge becomes like, 25% of the show instead of 75% of the show.
It is great though that they are taking the most interesting hand, like editing it down to like the most interesting hands, because that's
it'd be impossible to do it otherwise.
Right, exactly. I mean, you want, like, for people that don't know a lot about poker, don't watch a lot of poker, just seeing a hand go, all in, and the board run out. That's that's at least entertaining for them.
There's definitely a difference between appealing to people that are in the poker industry versus a mainstream audience.
Yeah.
A mainstream audience needs less poker.
I do think that they do a good job with like music and slow-mo and stuff like that to make very anticlimactic things for the poker player become climatic or dramatic, I guess, for the layperson.
Yeah.
Like kind of Ace 8 shove getting called by Ace King.
The music changes, you know something happened.
And they slow-moed it, and they did a good job of making it a cliffhanger. It became a dramatic moment for the layperson, where for insiders, we're just like, okay, she's out. Like, and if she's not, she's, you know, going to be average stack after hitting a 3-outer or something. You know, it would have been very unfortunate if that hand would have happened, ended in a chop. Yeah. Because it would have just been like the least dramatic thing.
Well, then they wouldn't have made it a...
That's true. Probably wouldn't have been a cliffhanger. Yeah, interesting to me. I love the idea. I guess we're going to be talking about this maybe twice a week. So it's every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Maybe we talk about it.
We could talk about it on Mondays.
Yeah, we should find one day a week to talk about it.
Yeah.
Kind of recap.
See what the audience wants. You guys want us to talk about it every
we could
day?
do Monday. We could do Monday and Friday. No, we can't do that.
We got our Weekend Warriors.
Well, I mean, we have Weekend Warriors every Monday and Friday.
Oh, I'm just saying.
That's what you're saying. But yeah, I think like, you know, come in Monday, watch the full week, and then talk about it.
Yeah, maybe that'll work. Maybe that'll do. All right, let us know in the chat what are you doing, man?
He's excited.
What are you fucking doing? Landon's eating nuts in the goddamn microphone. You're just pounding the fucking desk. Can Monday. We rein it in?
It's Monday, man.
Poker arguments.
Can we rein it? Why? Just what would make you think you can't wait another 6 minutes to eat your fucking mints? You know, we're trying to run a show here. We have the biggest audience we've had in weeks, and you're over there chewing gravel.
Mint's so good.
If you guys would like to see Landon chew more gravel,
what kind of fucking animal are you, man? Get it together. Conrad, it's time.
It's time. Let's fucking go! I'm back to my fucking losing ways. I cannot believe this shit. Najee just gets the ball. He runs for 24 yards at the end of the third quarter. I can't breathe. This shit is
end
the
of the
worst.
Third quarter. Bro, he ran for 103 yards. Jalen Warren, 110.
My
Steelers
God.
were steamrolling.
He had sub 40 yards going into the second half.
I don't think that's true.
I'm pretty sure.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Anyway,
All it matters is how it ended.
Doesn't matter. Steelers suck. I took another L. What are we going to do? We're going to have to move onwards and upwards.
When are you going to learn?
Berkey,
what
did you do this weekend?
First, I'd like to give a shout out to our sponsor, Underdog. Thank you so much for being a part of this. We appreciate you as always. If you guys are looking to maybe get a part of these hires and lowers that we're firing on, feel free to head to underdog.com, or maybe it's Underdog Sports, Underdog Fantasy, whatever. Hit hashtag Underdog in the chat. It'll give you the link. Sign up bonus up to $500. Make sure you use the S4Y code. I got very greedy, my friend. I got so greedy.
You got spicy, if you will.
Very caliente. It was so dumb. It was so dumb because I knew that Najee scoring was for sure a lock, and I could have taken the 1.25x on that. That was going to happen. Yeah. Or I could have gotten real spicy with the Jalen Warren touchdown at 1.75x because that's obviously no. I wanted, you know what? I wanted this to happen is what it is. I wanted George Pickens to get in the end zone. I wanted my guy to be happy.
Yeah.
And to be a part of this offense. I wanted Kenny to throw for 340 this week because I thought we were going to light him up. And we did.
We did.
But it was on the ground. And my boy George Pickens took an L. He was not even targeted in the end zone.
The Steelers came in, they came in with a strategy. And the strategy was do not throw the ball to Deontay or George.
Yeah, that was true.
Fortunate for me.
Wow, you beat it.
All my man George, all he needed was 3 catches, and we hit the higher. He had 45 points or 45 yards, and we only need 43.
Wow.
So
you know what
we are a winner.
You know what? I'm ready to bet a
winner.
Steelers fucking person for a higher. It's happening.
Yeah.
I told you.
Yeah,
You did. It was fucking gold.
I was nervous once Conrad said this is the
Wasn't
lock
that gold,
of the
man? He beat it by
century
2.5 yards.
Yeah,
It was gold.
Once he said it's the lock of the century of the week, I was just like, well, I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah.
But you know what?
I should have moved right off my pick at that
Made it by the
exact
skin of my
moment.
teeth.
By the way, Najee had fucking 82 yards. Beat it.
That's enough.
That's more than enough.
You said like 110 or something.
He did. He had over 100 yards.
Rushing and recreationally.
Oh, recreationally maybe. He had 80, he had 82.
Yeah.
Professionally.
Lando, how'd you do?
Took an L. Trevor
Took an
Lawrence didn't perform against the 49ers.
Yeah.
Unlucky.
Poor Landon. He
Jags
can't
are
have the
down
Dolphins
bad.
be on a bye week.
I couldn't have the Dolphins on the bye week, so I took
I
someone
can't
that looked
believe you
like
took
me.
Trevor Lawrence versus the Niners.
Yeah.
You just bought into that FUD, huh?
Nah, bro, he was
Niners were
cooking.
down
He had
bad.
like 140 in the first half, and then just like bad football.
Bad football.
Bad football. 49ers are on a 3-game losing streak.
God, you don't know how funny
140's not
bad
great.
football is to me. So we were at the Michigan game, and it was me and Corey. And they were like losing maybe halftime or something like that. And Corey just starts yelling, "Bad football!"
Bad football
Bad
players.
football.
Bad
I
at football.
was dying.
Speaking of bad football, how about those Jets? Holy shit. They are a D-League team, man. My
that's
God, the
brutal.
Raiders are brutal to watch.
Actually, to be honest with you, since the Raiders have fired their coach, they played 2 New York
Come
teams
on.
and absolutely washed them.
That is true.
But to be honest,
I wonder if they fired him right before the 2 New York weeks on purpose. Like,
Maybe.
you know what? We're going to get this guy out of here and then get like 2 nice, gentle wins.
Yeah, maybe. I honestly, the Ravens don't have a bad team. I mean,
The Raiders are terrible, bro.
Just because they've lost some games in the beginning, like Josh McDaniels sucked.
Okay, so do the Raiders.
Yeah.
They're bad.
They
man.
have, all right.
What's their quarterback's name?
Aiden
Aiden
O'Connell.
O'Connell.
Yeah. How good is he?
I can't
I mean,
believe they
they
actually
had
knew
Jimmy
his
G
name.
before that.
They still have Jimmy G. He's not playing for a reason.
Do you know the Aiden O'Connell story? He was
No.
like, he got like no offers out of college and like wasn't supposed to play. He was like a 6th stringer in college. And then people got hurt and then he kind of cooked and then got drafted.
Wow.
Like the fact that he actually made it to the league is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Not as ridiculous as my man Purdy.
He got like one offer to go like walk on at Purdue. It was like the 6th string quarterback at Purdue. And then people got hurt. And then he played for them and then did well. And then got drafted.
Wonder if he'd do well on the Jets.
I wonder.
Who knows? Moving
Yeah.
off of football.
Zach Wilson, bad
I thought that
football.
game was going to end 9-9.
Guapo, how did you do?
Boys, I am officially 3 for 3
Oh, he's just.
in my UFC picks.
Yep. You should always go UFC.
Yeah. Had I known from the jump that I could pick UFC, I think I'd be doing a little bit better right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, Alex Pereira moved up to light heavyweight. I thought this was a very good move. He's been struggling to make 185. His last fight against Izzy, he weighed 223 pounds. So imagine that. He's putting on like 40 pounds within like 36 hours in just water weight. So yeah, he came in, he cleaned up. He gave me gas money for the month. I made a nice little wager on him.
Let's go.
Things are good.
Guapo's the
Things are good.
sharpest when it comes to these UFC fights. I gotta tell
Gotta give
you.
it to bro. We gotta start trailing
Yeah,
bro.
he's cooking.
It's not Henry killed the game Bane. I'll tell you that much.
Oh wait, we had Matt Hunt too. Didn't we
Matt
have
Hunt did not win
Hunt
his.
lost and
Melissa, however, did win
Melissa
hers.
won.
So they are getting closer and closer to being on the leaderboard. I'm still atop. Very
Are
disappointed in
those
myself.
those aren't updated, are they?
So yeah, those are the updated scores.
I thought
So
it was
it's-
5-3-1 last
There
week.
should be 10 picks up there. I may have messed something up.
No, we have 9 because I have
have
3
9.
losses. I only had 2 on the board. Been on a downswing.
Yeah, I should have
3 straight losses. Yeah, yeah I should be 6-3-1.
Yeah, I should
Yeah.
be 7-3.
Okay, yeah, so I forgot you were sorry.
Yeah.
Man,
Gotta have to get on Guapo, make sure I
So-
get credit for my pick.
I'm so mad at myself.
Why is that?
Feels
I
bad.
got
It feels
so
bad losing
greedy.
for the people, man.
Yeah, I got greedy too. It's like I knew I was being greedy.
You know what they
Yeah.
say? Greed is a sin.
Greed is a sin.
Gordon
One of the
Gekko
seven
said
dead-
greed is
one of
good.
the seven deadly sins, young
Or
man.
maybe it's this one. Let me see. Hold on. Sorry. boys.
Oh,
No.
no.
That's not it.
Oh, that one's way
That's
old.
right.
Take that one.
Okay.
I'll take
I
that
only
one.
have 2 losses in that one.
Landon misses that one.
Yeah. That was back when I was Dolphin Sharp,
All right.
taking some time off.
Well, today was wonderful. I enjoyed the strat chat. I enjoyed the in the muck.
I enjoyed the mints.
I enjoy. We know that.
Give one, Landon.
I'm taking admissions right now or applications for new friends.
New friends.
We're gonna start the new friends podcast.
Don't worry, bud. There won't be too many of those applications flowing
Yeah,
in.
good fucking luck, buddy.
That's
You're
what
on
you
your own
think.
there.
Guess what, Landon?
What?
Tomorrow's our 400th show.
Holy shit.
Oh
Let's
baby.
go.
Holy shit, 400 shows. That's going to do it for us today. Tomorrow we have a very special episode. It's our 400th anniversary episode. Melissa's going to be here. We got a little something planned for you guys. In the meantime, be sure to head over to our Twitter at onlyfriends_pod. We have a new Twitter Tuesday prompt up for you guys. It is, you are granted the power to ban one thing in the casino forever. What is it?
Button straddles.
I would have went with Conrad, personally.
Actually, before we get out of here, I got to say something.
Come on, man. Like, Jesus.
Oh,
Don't forget,
pre-Black-
guys, we are running a pre-Black Friday sale. This is good until November 19th. Offer expires then. Use code ONLYFRIENDS at sign up. $19.99 for your first 2 months. Go ahead and take advantage of that at solveforwhy.io. Go ahead, Conrad.
Apparently, somebody walked up to me the other day and they said, "Hey, Conrad, I really love the show. I watch it every day, but you banned me from
What?
Apparently, I banned this guy that watches our show every day and
From the
absolutely
chat?
loves it from the chat, and he's not happy
You're
about
an
it.
asshole.
Well, you know, I asked him, I was like, "Were you being an asshole?" He said, "Well, yeah, it was the other guy, but yeah."
You're a bad guy.
I am. See you later.
Conrad's a bad guy.
You got
All right,
one
guys.
more week on timeout.
And that's going to do it for us today. We'll be back tomorrow, 6 p.m. for a special After Dark 400th episode Gallivant of Wordum.
Extravaganza.
I went with extravaganza. And Gallivant.
Somebody call Andy.
And I put them together.
Extravaganza.
I put them together. I think they speak that way somewhere in the Midwestern area of the country.
The Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. Thank you. Thank you. You're finally catching on, Landy.
Hey.
Jesus.
I'll end you. Just like I'll end this show. See you guys tomorrow evening, 6 p.m.
Later, squad.
Peace.